I think we can all agree that Disney Junior sucks now. It's mostly because Disney has no clue on what even the heck they're doing anymore. And neither do I. The programs are now complete trash, and although we do occasionally get gems like Doc McStuffins and Sophia the First, but more often that they were really bad and smelly. However, it wasn't always like that. If you grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, you know that Disney Junior was named Playhouse Disney at the time. This was actually pretty good with some fantastic programs, including Bear in the Big Blue House, Handy Mandy, etc. It was February 14th, 2011 when the network changed to Disney Junior, and that was the day when Playhouse Disney died and the magic went away. However, what many people don't know is that there was a change to Playhouse Disney and to Disney Junior wasn't a complete decision or a marketing ploy. No, it was reality. It was actually due to an episode of a certain cartoon about a certain yellow bear, which caused the head of the studio, at the time Joseph Green, to fire all the staff and replace them with new ones once Disney Junior was established. How do I know this, you may be asking? Well, as cliche as may sound, I actually used to be an intern for the Playhouse Disney from 2004 to 2011, along with my wife Emily and my part-time lover Pomadou. I hated my wife because, let's just say that she was quite cozy with some of the executives at Playhouse Disney. Basically, she slept with them, and it's kind of like to the point where I was making myself think. However, Emily's blatant cheating has actually got me into my job in my studio in the first place. So I do have to thank her for that, I suppose. Notice that I'm talking about Emily in the past tense. You'll soon find out why. For my part-time lover, Pomadou, I always loved him more than Emily, and we were actually planning on getting married sometime during the Christmas holidays. If you want to come, dear reader, I've already got your invites ready. Sorry for the random tangent anyway. This all began on a freezing cold day in December of 2010. I don't remember the exact date, because I'm not a computer boyo. Me and my co-workers, including Emily and Pomadou, were called into the viewing room to watch a brand new episode of My Friends Tigger and Pooh. If you haven't seen the show, I'll give you a brief summary. It's about Winnie the Pooh and Tigger too, along with a girl named Darby, who takes the role of Christopher Robin in the series of having their own detective service called the Super Sleuths. They spend every episode helping a character with problems, and with that I didn't like the show that much about it, but Emily loved it, and so did Pomadou. Pomadou began rubbing his bald head up and down before saying, "Ooh, I don't like this, Peter. I don't like this one bit." "Why?" I asked. "The Bingos games got cancelled tonight due to the weather," Pomadou explained while crying. I shook my head. Another intern named Mark Bergen put the disc into the DVD player. The episode started off with a normal intro. It was completely normal. The only real difference is that Pooh was 1 inch taller than normal. I vomited all over Pomadou's bald head when I saw that. The episode then started off with Pooh walking down 100-acre wood with a smile on his face. Pooh was walking for a while until he entered a small park where he ran into Tigger and Darby. Darby waved at Pooh when she saw him and greeted him. "Hi, Pooh. Good to see you. You're happy today." "Yeah, Pooh, boy. I haven't seen you this happy," Tigger said, also happy. "I got sick again. Well, today is actually my important day for my little old me," Pooh explained before continuing. "My entire family is coming down here to visit me." "Well, that sounds pretty amazing, Pooh," Darby exclaimed while giving Pooh a hug. Tigger looked very uncomfortable as Darby had put laxatives in his orange juice. "What time will they be arriving?" Darby asked. Then Pooh responds with, "They'll be here at, oh bother, I must have forgot what time they'll be here," Pooh said sadly. "Don't worry, Pooh, we'll help you remember." But with this, it sounds like a job for the super... Darby didn't get to finish his sentence as Tigger began taking a dump in the punch bowl table for some reason. "Oh, I remember now," Pooh exclaimed happily before continuing. "They'll be here at 2 o'clock this afternoon." "Oh, buggering Biggerton. I only have about an hour to get everything ready for them," Pooh said sadly. "Don't worry, Pooh. We'll help you get everything ready, right, Tigger?" Darby asked while nudging Tigger in his private area, causing it to bleed. "No," Tigger said. Reply was ignored. Then it showed a montage of everyone getting ready for Pooh's family arrival. Emily then began eating my ear, but I managed to push her off as the episode continued. Pooh and his friends gathered outside of this house to wait for the arrival of his family when the small Rolls Royce pulled up on the parking lot. 4 bears got out of the car and walked over to Pooh and the gang. One of the bears, who was dressed like the 1970s gangster, came up to Eeyore and said, "Sup, boy? Wanna smoke some weed?" "I'd rather smoke some crack," Eeyore said while listening to the podcast of Uncle Remus. "Aren't you going to introduce us, Pooh?" another bear who was dressed up in a Royal Navy uniform asked. "Of course," Pooh said while continuing. "Guys, this is my family." Pooh then began listening to his family's names one by one. The gangster dressed a bear named Franklin, and he was Pooh's older brother. The Royal Navy uniform was bear named Ainsley, and he was Pooh's father. And the other one, being Pooh's mother, was wearing a red dress, ironically also named Emily. And another bear, who is Pooh's younger brother, dressed up as a three-piece suit named Tim. "So these are your friends you've been telling us about," Emily said while walking around in the gang circle, not square because Pooh is cold. This Pooh is cold. Yes, Pooh said while making a sandwich with honey in it. "They're all lovely," Tim said, who sounded like Tim Curry. Ironic, I know, but he really did. "I'm afraid, Pooh, I have to go early as the hotel is having some problems with a stolen credit card," Tim said as his limousine pulled up beside him with a big fat driver to come out of the car. The driver then pulled out a large cheesy pizza before saying, "Mr. Pooh, your very own cheesy pizza." This caused Bergen to run out of the room in fear. "Chicken," I thought to myself. I bet you're probably wondering why this episode caused Playhouse Disney to change it to Disney Junior. Well, get ready because that question is soon going to be answered. Pooh then asked Tim if he could have a quick sandwich, and Tim agreed. He ate the sandwich and then he died on the spot. Yeah, not even joking on that one. "Pooh, you sick big yellow bear, that sandwich had honey on it," Franklin yelled as he pulled out a Tommy gun and he shot himself in the temple, killing himself. "What the hell?" Darby asked as in utter shock and fear. "Shut up, Darby, you annoying little toe rag," the driver complained while eating the cheesy pizza that was meant for Tim. Ainsley and Emily didn't know how to acknowledge the deaths of their sons, and instead made their way inside Pooh's house for the party. The party was pretty normal for the most part, but at some point Emily and Tigger disappeared from the party. Halfway through the party, a very angry Ainsley came down the stairs with Tigger and Emily following behind them. Basically, Ainsley explains to the gang that he found Tigger and Emily doing a lot of inappropriate things together. They were caught playing with the Star Wars Lego, and then Ainsley said, "I want a divorce. I never liked you anyway, Em. I only married you because you were pregnant with Franklin. I'm gonna marry my true love, Luca Barsi." See, Ainsley announced as a small USV pulled outside. The driver walked in and revealed himself as Luca Barsi. "And the one thing that must be understood is that I would never go against the Godfather. Don Corleone is a man I respect. I understand that he must put his sons in before me in the family business," Luca explained. "Pure poetry," Ramin said the rat while pulling up that cheesy face with the gusto made that soup. "Take me shopping, big boy," Ainsley exclaimed as Luca picked him up and ran outside with him in his arms. The two ran into the sunset as the love songs Lives Where We Belong was playing in the background. Emily then started crying before exclaiming, "That's it! I'm moving to Spain to marry a handsome scuba diver named Jim," she said as she got in the limousine from earlier and then drove into the distance. Rabbit then got a text on the phone and exclaimed, "You guys, guess what? My family's coming over for a visit as well." "No!" the gang all screamed as the episode ended with the normal credits. Joseph Green came in and yelled, "Who the hell made that episode?" None of us spoke out of fear of what they might do to us. Green then sighed before saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, this episode has caused our good friend Mark Bingen to jump out of the 10-story window. With the sad of his passing, I am reluctant to announce the dismissal from this company," Green explained. "Why?" I asked myself. "Because, dear Peter," Green began with, getting extra close to my face, and he continued with, "Since no one will be able to confess the crime, I am going to fire all of you," Green said evilly with a massive fart. Then I was getting poisoned by gas exchange. "I need to be naked," Green cried as he began dancing around like a little girl. The old intern, whose name was Colonel Bottle, stood up and proclaimed, "I made the episode." "What?" we all yelled at the top of our lungs. I made it for you and Emily because I love you, Bono explained, while looking at Emily, who was visibly touched by this. So the chair that they were sitting on stunk like diarrhea and rotten meat mixed together for a bag underneath the bridge in New Orleans. Well, now you know who made the episode. You don't have to fire us, Pomadour said confidently. Oh, I'm still gonna fire all of you. I can't have the staff who will make this disturbing episodes like this, Green explained before continuing. And as for you, Colonel, let's see what the police have to say about this. You'll never take me alive, Bernal said as he sat back down. His chair suddenly grew wings, and he grabbed Emily and placed her on his lap, and the chair flew towards the sky and made it upwards towards the sunset. However, they didn't get away very far, as the plane ended up crashing them, causing a massive explosion which killed both of them. The plane was not damaged by this, but however, whatever reason, following the incident, we were fired by Green as he changed Playhouse Disney to Disney Junior, and the episode is what led him to canceling My Friends Tigger and Pooh, as well as the other programs on the network. I'm now engaged to Pomadour, and even though nearly 8 years, we're still talking about this episode. I don't know how Bono made this episode, but now how this chair was able to grow wings and fly, or how much bottle of Cokes that we drank on the train, but rest I assure you, one day I will have answers. Oh man, I remembered reading this last year and giving this a second chance. I obviously loved it, and I'm going to be completely honest. And that, my little pretties, was a big day for Pooh. My Friends Tigger and Pooh Lost episode, Funny Pasta. Written by Matthew Bumford. Matthew Bumford, I would like to thank you so much for the story. And what are my final thoughts on this story? Well, let's get on to the actual episode. Like, I like the episode how, it's all funny with, all Winnie the Pooh having friends over, like family over, and Darby and Tigger doing all weird stuff. And this episode was just... I have to admit, this does bring me back memories of watching Playhouse Disney. And I am sad that Playhouse Disney did change to Disney Junior. Like, I honestly wish Disney Junior never existed and Playhouse Disney stayed the same. Because, with all honesty, Playhouse Disney was actually a really good company that was made sometime in the 90s. But unfortunately, around, February of 2011, they unfortunately had, they had basically closed down. And it is sad too, because this episode had like so much stuff, and I'm going to be really honest, like this was actually one of the good cartoons. It had really great cartoons back then. Like I'm saying right now that this one had tons of cartoons. Besides My Friends Tigger and Pooh, there's another one I grew up with watching, which I'm gonna be honest, one of them would have to be my favorite, and I might make like a lost episode pasta of this or something, I don't know. And that is JoJo's Circus being one of them I grew up with, and along with My Friends Tigger and Pooh, the Book of Pooh. There's like so much shows right here. There's like so much shows that they have going on. And they made a lot of money while doing this. While making these episodes of shows, they have made a lot of money. Like, I'm not even joking, people. They made like a lot of money while doing this. And the sad thing is, I'm sad that the studio has canceled it. Or at least the studio shut down. Because here's the thing. I don't like the news shows now these days. This is kind of the reason why I don't watch TV as much as I used to. Because, TV back then was like really good. Like when I was a kid growing up, we had good stuff. But unfortunately, it seems like the world doesn't want to, us to relive all that and continue on. I'm going to be honest, the older shows were good and the older programs, but nowadays they're not that great, certain ones. Well, even though there's some programs that have decency on some of them, but they're still not good. I'm being completely honest when I say this. But, however, this was actually pretty funny. I did laugh out loud at least once or something, but I could definitely say that this episode was amazing. And I do have to say, Matthew Bumford, you do know how to make a good troll pasta. If you could make one maybe out of JoJo's Circus or something, I would love to see that, because I tried to look to see if I could find like a JoJo Circus creepypasta, but I can't seem to find any. I don't know if there was one on Goshia but got deleted or something. But if you guys do know, just let me know in the comments below. But this, it was flat out amazing. Now, despite the cliches that were in this, I'm willing to excuse it because I know I didn't excuse it at first because that was before I got to know Matthew Bumford. Now, this episode, I've changed my mind about it and I gave it a second chance. And this episode was great. It was just amazing. I like the concept itself to be rather nice. I was laughing. I laughed when I first read this, but when second time I read this around, like before I read it for the first time, I actually managed to keep myself from laughing. And even on this one too, I managed to keep myself from laughing. Like, it's just amazing. Like, I'm going to be completely honest. This one was just flat out amazing. I'm very disappointed now these days that Disney Junior, now these days, they don't have really good shows on there. And, that's very disappointing. It's very disappointing when it comes to that. And that is very disappointing that, TV shows now these days are not as good as they used to be. And, the thing about that really makes me, loving this story was the fact that the episode was funny itself. And that is definitely something I can definitely say. This episode was flat out amazing, which I can definitely say. And I obviously found it to be rather enjoyable. Now, I can definitely say that, that this episode was actually really good. I'm going to say right now, the grammar was flat out amazing. The storyline of how the episode went out was good. The sentence structuring and the paragraph structuring was just amazing. I'm really glad that, this episode was just flat out awesome. And I can definitely say there was definitely time and effort put into the story. And that's a very good thing what I like about this episode. Now, is there anything negative I have to say about the story? Well, sadly, no. Like, I know I did, back when I read this last year, but I don't have any negatives anymore because, I gave this one a second chance, and I obviously thought this one was awesome. After giving it second thought, actually, this was actually pretty good. Now, here's the thing, people. If you do remember Playhouse Disney, you should remember all the good shows that they did have at this point. So, if you guys want me to make like a what is it? Oh yeah, a creepypasta out of JoJo Circus. Just let me know in the comments below because I would really love to actually see one. Like, I would actually like to make one or something. But if you guys do have any ideas for that, just let me know in the comments below and I'll be seeing you all. Oh, wait a second. Forgot something. Like I'm going to say right now, and like I always continue to say, this is simply my own personal opinion, and if you disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas, or funny pastas in this case, and this is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of this story would have to be a 10 out of 10. It's a great funny pasta, great concept, storyline was awesome, the grammar was amazing, the sentence structuring, the paragraph structuring, the flow of the story, and it was funny. I can definitely say it was funny as well, so I can definitely say, I can understand and see why Disney would not make anything like this. I could definitely see them, not making anything like this. And that's something I'm going to be completely and utterly honest. Now, is there anything else that I have to say? Well, I basically already have said it. So I'm going to be wrapping up this review. Now, anyways, what did you all think about this funny pasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what would you have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Leaving out your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're brand new here to this channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to my upload so you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out, and I hope you all have a good day, and I'll be seeing you all later.